you're black or white, young or old, gay or straight. Anyway, stand up. This is our day. If you think there's a chance, we can dance and romance. Make a plan. Take a stand.
I used to go to music conventions with all these young people writing new songs, and we were there to get educated about how to produce and how to market your music and the steps that you need to have a song to go from obscurity to being a hit. Well, I was in one of these classes and they were talking about how there were so many old people here and music is a young person's business and so forth and so on. And so I got up and I raised my hand, I got up in the class. I said, you know what? I have written songs all of my life, but I've had two that have won Dove Awards. I have had two that have sold platinum numbers. They've been in film. And I said, I wrote a song that all of you probably know, Jesus is Just All Right. Well, right then and there, they got up and gave me a standing ovation. And I wrote Walk With Me because I was angry that I had to encounter younger people telling me about the music business and how to write music and how to get it out to your audience. Walk With Me talks to the downtrodden, the people who have been marginalized either through color, sexual orientation, religion, origin of birth, any number of things, the handicapped, the slow, the autistic, anybody that's different from the mainstream seems to have a problem in society one way or the other. And it's not that all of us are going to succumb to our problems, but we need to know that there is at least the opportunity to improve and to better ourselves, but also have society to recognize that we have personal value. Once that is generated and launched within us, I think we all have an opportunity to move forward if the opportunity is there. I write music in a couple different ways. Sometimes I get a melody in my head, and then I try to find some lyric to go with that melody. Usually that melody turns out to be the hook of the song. A hook is something, if you don't remember anything else about a song, you know. Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. I've written songs in 5 minutes that are great songs. And I've taken 9 months on one song, and it wasn't any better than the one I wrote, in a few minutes. It just depends on what motivates you. Everybody knows all the ways people can fall in and out of love. You have to have something to write about. It's good to have an opinion, whether it's good or bad, but a unique way to say, I love you so.
If you don't like the music that you hear on the radio, the status quo, we design.
It's very difficult to write music when it's just you and a computer. It takes another human being to be in the room with you during the creative processes. I have 10,000 sounds that I can access and play on this particular keyboard. And the first thing I try to do is I try to figure out how to get the melody all finished, the verses, how many verses, is there going to be a bridge. I do the format of the song first, I lay it out. And then I choose, well, what kind of instruments do I want to use to create the sound that's going to generate the kind of message and interest in the song that I wanted to generate. And it's just better and easier when somebody is there with you, going along this journey of going from a blank page to a final production of a song. It seems easy and simple, and it's very hard and can be very, very frustrating. I like to mix strange, nuanced sounds with traditional sounds that most of us know. I had originally recorded this song on my first solo CD called Crossing Generations. The thing with Walk With Me this time around is I didn't want to sing it. I wanted it to be sung by people who are on the cutting edge of equality for everybody in our society.
Black or white, young or old, gay or straight, anyway.
We started the recording process here in my studio. I have a longtime engineer. So he came up and set up the studio here for recording purposes, and I had the singers come over, and we had a big talk and talked about the objectives that we wanted to create with this particular song. So it was 2 days of rehearsing and overdubbing and coming up with new hooks or new ideas to interject along the journey. This time around, selecting singers, since I no longer had the Art Reynolds singers, were people closest to me. First of all, there's Alfreda James. I plucked her out of retirement. She was one of the original Art Reynolds singers, and I was so glad she said yes to this project. And there's Anna Montgomery. She's just a wonderful, wonderful singer. She's worked with top people in the industry and has sung on many songs that have been charted in Europe and elsewhere, and she's just a wonderful person. And there's Renette Neal. Renette Neal is my sister. She has no singing experience except around the house or when we're together, but she has a terrific voice, and I said, come on, I want you to be a part of this project, and she said yes. So they're from 3 different backgrounds, 3 different periods in time, 3 different age groups, and 3 different personalities, and it worked out great. And then there's Burke Media. My friend Michael Burke has made all of this possible and made a visual of the experience that we all have had making this project. My longtime engineer, Ken Hankins, he's been with me since the beginning of my venture with electronic music and has guided me along the way all of these years, and he never tells me no, so I'm eternally thankful for him. Thanks a lot, Ken. You came through again. In any recording, you hear things that you didn't hear before, things that comes to you right away. I wrote a little line that said, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Come on, come on, come on, walk with me. Come on, come on.
And that was not part of the song before, so I had it done in 3 parts. And that really added a punch to the song. And I added some ad-libs for my little vocal part in the song that I think added an additional punch to the hook. And after two and a half days, we said goodbye to each other, and me and the engineer got together, and we started listening to it, and I did a preliminary mix on it and gave it to him. He's gonna do a super mix and make the cymbals sound better and the hand claps sound better. He's the make it sound better guy. So he'll have it, and hopefully when I get it back, then I'll send it out to be mastered, where it'll be boosted up audio-wise, where it can be played over radio or over any commercial television or commercial broadcast. And we'll be ready to show some other artists that this is a song that they should consider doing. And after a period of time, if I get no takers, then you know what? I'll put it out under the Art Reynolds project. But I want to see who comes forth and see what kind of shot I have with it with some of today's young artists. Music is just another way of documenting what's going on in the moment, in the songwriter's life. And a lot of times that's bad news, sometimes it's good news, and sometimes it's phenomenal news. But most songwriters write what they know most about. and what they've experienced in their lives. I've tried to be honest and forthright and angry and happy and joyful. I've run the gamut of emotions, and each time I have an emotional response to write a song, it turns out to be a good response. Walk With Me is just my idea of moving ahead with people of like mind, people who want the world to be responsive to their needs and where they can contribute the best that they can to its improvement. So Walk With Me is a way of life, it's a way to change our lives, and it's a way to improve our lives. This is not the end of the Art Reynolds project. There's a lot more to come. I have a lot of years behind me and a few ahead of me, but the few ahead of me are going to be the best years of my life, and I hope it'll be the best music that I've ever created. Stay tuned.